The Ring. The Ring is all about a cursed videotape that kills anyone who watches it exactly 7 days later. Journalist Rachel Keller starts poking around after a series of creepy deaths, but in the process, she and her son Aiden end up watching the tape themselves. As Rachel follows the trail, she pieces together the story of Samara Morgan, a girl with terrifying psychic powers who was mistreated by her adoptive mother and eventually tossed into a well. Rachel figures it's the usual ghost movie deal. Lay the spirit to rest with a proper burial, and the nightmare ends. But nope, the movie pulls a brutal twist. Rachel's ex, Noah, who also watched the tape, is killed in one of the film's most chilling scenes. When Samara actually crawls out of his TV, that's when Rachel realizes she didn't survive because she helped Samara. She survived because she made a copy of the tape and passed it on. Basically, the curse was never about closure. It was built to spread, like a virus. To keep Aiden alive, Rachel has him copy the tape too, which seals someone else's fate. And that's the real kicker: Samara never loses. Her evil keeps multiplying, and the cycle never ends. Truth or dare?
I have to ask you, truth or dare?
In Truth or Dare, a group of college friends discovers that the innocent party game they played with a stranger named Sam hides something far darker. The game is bound to a demon named Calax, and the rules are brutal. Refuse a truth, skip a dare, or try to quit, and you die. At first, Olivia and her friends think they can outsmart it, but the game soon follows them everywhere. Through visions, through their phones, making sure they never stop playing. They learn too late that once you're in, there's no way out. Desperate, Olivia, Marky, and Lucas track down Sam, the man who tricked them into joining. Since he's the one who unleashed Calax, only he can perform the ritual to seal the demon away. But Calax twists the rules again, forcing Lucas to kill Sam before the ritual is complete. In one last attempt, Olivia tries to outsmart Calax by pulling the demon himself into the game. When Calax chooses truth, Olivia asks how the game can be ended. The demon reveals the cruel answer: the only way was through Sam, and now that he's dead, the curse can never be broken. With Sam gone, the chance to trap the demon dies too. Faced with this, Olivia makes a chilling choice. Rather than let herself and Marky be the next victims, she records a video explaining the curse and ends it with a simple question: truth or dare? Once uploaded to her viral YouTube channel, anyone who watches becomes a player. The curse spreads across the world, and Calax wins. Sinister, 2012.
New details today in the grisly murders of a local family found earlier this week.
In Sinister, true crime writer Ellison Oswalt moves his family into a house where a brutal murder once happened, hoping to turn the tragedy into his next big book. While unpacking, he finds a box of old film reels stashed in the attic. Each reel shows a different family being murdered, and in the background of every video appears the same creepy figure: Bahul, a pagan deity who literally snacks on children's souls. As Ellison looks closer, he spots a disturbing pattern. After every murder, one kid from the family vanishes. Turns out, Bughul brainwashes these kids, making them kill their own families and spread the curse. Talk about the world's worst babysitter. In the finale, Ellison thinks he's finally outsmarted the curse by moving his family back to their old house. But that's the trap. Once you leave the murder house, that's when Bughul takes your child. Sure enough, Ellison realizes too late that his coffee's been drugged. His daughter, Ashley, now under Bughul's control, records herself brutally killing the whole family with an axe. The movie ends with Ashley's creepy drawings and Bughul walking away with her into his world. This way, the cycle is ready to start all over again with the next unlucky family. Smile, 2022. In Smile, Dr. Rose Cotter's life is flipped upside down after she witnesses a patient's horrific suicide. From that moment, the curse chooses her. The rules are cruel but simple. See a cursed death, and you're next. It eats away at you with terrifying hallucinations until you kill yourself in front of someone else, passing it along like the worst relay race ever. Rose fights hard to escape. She hides in her childhood home, thinking she can beat the cycle by dying alone. There she faces the entity, which shows up as her abusive mother. She believes she's won after burning it, but the victory is only in her head. The demon was inside her all along. The truth hits when her ex, Joel, walks in. He watches helplessly as Rose, smiling unnaturally, douses herself in gasoline, and sets herself on fire. With him as the witness, the curse instantly jumps to its next host. The sting of the ending is that the curse can't be beaten. The curse doesn't let people survive. It spreads, feeding on trauma and lining up its next victim every time. Hereditary, 2018. Hereditary follows the Graham family, who seem to fall apart after the death of Annie's mother. At first, it feels like a story about grief, but pretty quickly, it turns into something much darker. Annie finds out that her mother was secretly part of a cult worshipping Paimon, a demon who can only live inside a male body from their bloodline. For years, the cult had been pulling the strings to make sure Annie's son, Peter, would eventually become Paimon's host. Charlie, Peter's little sister, was basically used as a temporary stand-in for the demon until Peter was ready. But when Charlie dies in one of the film's most shocking scenes, it sets off total chaos. Annie starts losing her grip on reality, Steve goes up in flames, and Annie ends up possessed before taking her own life. By the time Peter jumps out of the attic window, his body is left wide open for Paimon to finally move in. The cult gathers around him, crowning him as their king. The ending hits so hard because it makes clear that the Grahams never had a chance. Every tragedy was part of the plan, and in the end, Paimon wins completely by taking over Peter forever. Drag Me to Hell, 2009. Drag Me to Hell follows Christine Brown, a loan officer gunning for a promotion. When an elderly woman named Sylvia Ganush begs for more time on her mortgage, Christine shuts her down to look tough at work. Humiliated, Sylvia curses her by binding the demon Lamia to a button ripped from Christine's coat. The deal? In 3 days. Unless Christine can hand the button off to someone else, her soul is headed straight to hell. From there, things get wild. Christine tries everything like seances, sacrifices, and even begging for mercy. But Lamia isn't having it. In one desperate move, she digs up Sylvia's grave and shoves the envelope with the cursed button into her corpse's mouth, convinced she's finally beaten the curse. For the first time, Christine breathes easy, but then comes the gut punch. At the train station, her boyfriend, Clay, pulls out an envelope labeled Christine's. Turns out, she mixed them up. Inside is the real cursed button. The look on her face says it all. She never escaped. Before she can do anything, the ground splits open and fiery hands drag her screaming into hell, right in front of Clay. The finale is terrifying, because Christine tried everything to fight back, but one small mistake sealed her fate, and in the end, the demon won. Paranormal Activity, 2007. The movie follows Katie and her boyfriend Micah, a young couple dealing with strange events in their home. As the night vision cameras roll, it becomes clear the presence isn't tied to the house at all. It's tied to Katie, who has been targeted by a demon since childhood. This thing is attached to her, waiting patiently, messing with her, and slowly wearing her down. And Micah? His brilliant plan is to keep filming it and poking the demon, which, shocker, only makes things worse. The demon's endgame is simple. Break Katie's spirit, cut her off from help, and take over her body. By the finale, it gets exactly what it wants. In the theatrical ending, Katie disappears for a bit, then launches Micah's body at the camera before lunging at us at full demon mode. In the original ending, the police shoot her after a bloody rampage, and in the home release ending, she just sits down and slits her own throat. That one's basically the, well, guess that's it version. No matter which ending you see, the demon always wins. Either Katie becomes its permanent vessel, or she dies horribly. The scariest part? There was never really a fight, and the outcome was sealed from the start. The Autopsy of Jane Doe, 2016. The movie begins when police discover the body of an unidentified young woman buried at a crime scene. She's taken to a small-town morgue, run by father and son coroners, Tommy and Austin Tilden. At first, Jane Doe's body looks perfect, with no signs of violence, but as the autopsy progresses, the truth gets stranger. Her wrists and ankles have been broken, her tongue has been cut out, her lungs are burned from the inside, and her organs show signs of brutal ritual torture. Yet her skin remains flawless, like nothing ever happened. Tommy realizes the truth. Jane wasn't a witch when she was alive. In the 1600s, fearful villagers tortured an innocent girl with witch-killing rituals. Instead of killing her, the rituals trapped her in a half-living state. Jane's body can't move, but she can change reality, create illusions, and feed on the pain of others to slowly heal herself. By the end, Tommy sacrifices himself, and Jane uses his suffering to restore more of her body. Austin dies soon after. The next morning, Jane's corpse looks untouched again. As she's transported away, her toe twitches, proof she's still coming back, and every death takes her closer to resurrection. And if it makes you think that if a single cursed body can hold this much power, imagine the secrets hidden across the Conjuring universe. Discover them all in every detail in the Conjuring universe you missed, explained in 8 minutes.